welcome to yet another fun installment in our webinar series where we talk about all of the good stuff Bitrix24 has to offer to its users
and partners.
And partners, that's right. My name is Alex, and this is my lovely colleague here,
Lana.
And the topic today is, what is it?
So today we're going to talk about HR and automation in Bitrix24.
That's right. We have a lot to offer in this department, and since it's going to be quite a significant amount of information, we're going to structure this webinar this way. First of all, we're going to focus on the HR part and all the social tools that you can have.
For example, we are going to discuss the company structure, the feed, how to do different kind of posts for your employees.
Mm-hmm. And the second part will be focused on mainly automation, which is all of the different
how to make your workflow easier.
Yeah. And that's right. I guess we're ready. And if you are, let's begin.
Let's get started. So as you may know, HR stands for human resources. And to be able to manage these humans, we have to have them inside our Bitrix24 account.
These humans?
Yes. But
how do we get them in?
Yeah, but in order to get them, we have to invite them first. So for this, we go into the invite button here and we click plus. So here you can see all the different ways how to invite your team members to your account, but you would be needed the first two, which is via the link or via email or phone number. And once you do this, once you have all of your team members inside of your account, you have to do the hierarchy. You have to structure them, right? So for this, we go to the company. And for the sake of this webinar, we do have the company structure already set up. So it's Ines Bakery, right? And Alex is a chief baker. And we do have different departments here, like sales, accounting, delivery, marketing. But in my opinion, we are lacking an additional department, which we're going to add right now. So here you go.
Yeah, that's what a lot of our clients say.
Yeah.
You lack proper customer care.
Exactly. So we are going to add the department with customer care. And we added. And here you can see you already have it here, but it's empty, right? So we don't have anyone in this department working. But I think we're going to transfer this, like Jessica. Yeah, she's a good one. And we're just going to drag and drop her from marketing to customer care and appoint her as a supervisor.
She deserves that. She's been doing a really great job recently. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, so you can do this pretty much with any team member from different department. You can just drag and drop them to the department you want them to work in, right? So, and you also can change the role. You can make Jessica as a employee, right?
Just regular employee?
Yeah, or as a supervisor. It just depends on what you would like to do. So,
Yeah, some people might ask hey, why do I need this? Well, it's a very important step when you just getting started with Bitrix, because that creates first of all, a clear structure and hierarchy for all your employees, so everyone knows what their place in the hierarchy is and who they report to, who their supervisor is, and what are the other departments they're collaborating with, and also that sets up access permissions on an individual level and on the department level as well. And that's very important because based on these access permissions, these people either have access to certain parts of the product or they don't have that access.
Yeah, maybe to some files in your Bitrix24.
And some actions might not be available to certain people. And again, you can also change that later in specific individual sections or access permissions, but it's just the easiest way to do that. Right. So once we have this structure in place, we're going to move on to the next section, which is employees. And we're going to see how you can manage all your employees and how you can view their profiles. And yeah. So let's take a look at it. All right, so we're back and we find ourselves in another section, which is Employees tab of the company section of the main menu. And what we see here is basically it's a list of all the employees that work for you here in the company and some information about them. There's the department that they work in, the mobile phone, date when they were last active, their mobile app, if they have some installed, and so on. So it's very easy to navigate, but if you have hundreds or thousands of employees, you can use our quick search as different filters you can use here to search for specific groups of employees or individuals, right? And let's take a look at what the employee profile is, right? So let's see, there's a Samantha Simpson, right? She's a sales guru. And the employee profile, the first thing is their picture, nice little picture here, and some contact information, first name, last name, position, department, date of birth, and phone number. So this way you can easily contact this person in case, you need to talk about something. There's some additional information which gives us, a clear understanding of who this person's subordinates are, and you can, contact them, and who their supervisor is, which turns out to be me in this case. And there's some social blocks here about me, so we can see that Samantha's a nice person, and she likes cats and yoga. And also things I like, which are basically tags that you can use to connect to other people's interests. And some people might be a little bit shy to, connect with other people. They can use these hashtags to see if someone else shares their interests.
Yeah, Alex, and what about the badges here, like from the left side?
Yeah, on the left side, we have the appreciations section. And what it has here is basically, it's like badges, right? That you can award to different employees based on their achievements, right? So it's like some form of acknowledgement.
That if they did a good job.
Or, yeah. I mean, most of the time, yes. So it has some social value because it's always nice, to be nice to other people. But it also has some human resource management value, right? Because when you distinguish some employee, it not only boosts their, own morale, but it's also great for everyone else to see that, this person is doing a really great job.
Yeah, maybe I need to do the same. Yeah, maybe I need to work better.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about the mechanism of, awarding appreciations a little bit later. And also on the top here, we see different ways you can see, what person is working on, right? So you have quick access to the person's tasks and their calendar, and see what events they have there and what files they have in their drive in Bitrix24, what posts they're reading in their feed, their efficiency. Oops, it's 50%.
Maybe we should contact Samantha and ask her.
Yeah, maybe she's not such a sales guru as she claims she is. All right. So we have their access to their work time, which we'll cover in just a few moments later, and their work reports, right? So for an HR manager and for just their supervisor, it's a great way to get a...
Yeah, to have access to all of the information for one profile. You don't have to look for it from different sections in Bitrix24. It's all inside their profile.
And you don't have to, contact this person and say, hey, what are you doing? Are you working on this task or not working? So it's all right here. So that makes it much easier to manage your employees, especially if they're working remotely or, if they're working out there in the field. So that's what it is for. All right. So now let's move on to the next section, and that is time and reports. And we're going to see in just a few seconds.
So as you may see here, we do have some green flickering light, which indicates that this is something important that we need to discuss. So this is the clock-in feature, right? So what that is basically. So that is, the tool that allows you to track the time that you start your workday and end your workday. And also it's tracking the time when you take breaks, for example, or you go to the lunch. So before that, we didn't have this option. If you didn't have this option, you just probably did this maybe on the paper or just some paper trail for this. But now you have all of this inside of Bitrix24. So when you start your day, you just clock in here using the green button. Then you can see we have a button for break and for the clock out. So if you want to take a break, right, just going to maybe just outside, maybe for 10 minutes, you just click break. And then you can see the time for break is just going to be counted here, right? So this is the time, and your workday basically stops for some time. So for the time of the break, then when you go back, you just click continue, right? And your time reinstates here. So then if you are going to the lunch break as well, you can just click this button. But when you end your day, you just click clock out.
That's
right. So there will be able to see your their
work hours.
Yeah,
your working hours and how many hours.
You worked. So
really useful tool, especially for managers, and again, especially for those companies that work remotely when you cannot physically track, how many hours your employees are working, and especially if you pay them by the hour, it's hourly rate. A lot of companies use that, so it's really important and useful. And all of this information later can be found in the times and report section or from the employee's profile. But use the manager You have access to your employees and who you're supervising. And so you can easily see how many days or how many hours they worked in a particular day, when they took their breaks, how long these breaks were, and so on. So that's really important. And that's one of the key, I guess, HR management tools that we have.
Exactly.
And also there's some little nice thing here at the bottom that's called check-in. And it's one of the more recent features that we have in the product. And what it does is basically that allows you to, check in, right? So when you click on that, employees in a certain chat, they get a message that you've, checked in a certain place, and you can send your geographical location, and you can even attach some image.
Yeah, maybe a photo you wanted to,
Yeah, or something else. And that was created for the purpose of tracking people who might not be working with you at the same office, right? For example, if you have some people who work on, different locations across the city, and they have to, do some service for their clients and whatever. And every time they travel out of the office, they can check in, and you can see when they checked in and where they are and how long they were there and so on. So that's another cool tool to check not only your employee work hours, but also their location.
Yeah, but it's good for maybe supervisors to see, to know what exactly your employee is doing right now. So maybe he's saying he's on the meeting. So when he does the check-in feature, you can see that he's exactly at this meeting with the client. So, yeah.
Right. So that was the clock-in feature. And now we're going to move on to another tool that could be used for HR management, and that is Bitrix 24 Drive. And see you in a couple of seconds. Okay, so we're back, and here we find ourselves in another exciting section of our product, which is Drive. And basically, that's what you expect from any online file search. And you have your files, you have your folders, and some of them are shared, as you can see. There's with other people, and some of them are yours. Basically, every employee in Bitrix 24 has two main types of drive. They have their own drive where they can upload and create files of their own and share them with other users. And there's the company drive. And company drive is the place where you can store all kinds of documents. For example, some safety regulations, instructions, and some common access documents that every employee should have access to. So let's take a look. We have new recipes, right? So Lena here, for some reason, has new recipes.
Well, it's in his bakery, so
yeah,
of course you can imagine.
We might try those. You see that blueberry cake, right? It's a text document, and you can see there's some nice recipe here. So you can edit this document, right? And it's familiar interface, nothing new here. So there's probably doesn't really require explaining. But a great feature here is that you can have multiple users editing the same document, at the same time simultaneously. So that's really great. And also you can restrict access to this document if you want it to lock it from editing and being accidentally, erased by someone else. So you can do that. But in addition to text documents, you can also have spreadsheets, you can have presentations, all kinds of stuff. See here, company drive, we have new employee checklist, we have some presentation, welcome to his bakery onboarding, and some safety regulations here. So that's about it. Simple as that, but it's nice to have your own personal drive inside your company and not
using any third-party
external services. But if you wish to do so, you can still integrate those. We have integrations with Google Drive and Microsoft and some other file storage services. So you can transfer all your files into Bitrix 24 as well. So that was Drive, and now we're going to move to a really cool and interesting feature, which is called the feed.
And now we're going to talk about the social part of the HR. Stay tuned. So now we're going to talk about the social part of the HR, right? And for this, we are going to go to feed. So we are here now already. And here you can see we have all the different types of notifications basically to your employees. Messages. So we have the announcement, we have the appreciation, and we have the poll.
So what am I seeing here?
So here you can see we do have the appreciation post, right? And this is what Alex mentioned before in when he discussed the company, the employee profile, right? Where you saw different badges of the employee, right? So in order to get them, you just have to create a post, like the supervisor or like the responsible person has to make a post to send this badge, and then you will be seeing this in your employee profile.
Awesome.
So yeah, this is pretty simple. We just see that we have like the flower badge here, right? You can customize it. You can just decide whichever you like.
Yeah, so basically you did something, you did a great job, and Archie Becker here acknowledges this, and he awarded you.
He gives me mad props.
Yeah, flower badge. Yeah. That's nice. And that's obviously well-deserved, just like I commented here.
Of course. So then you can, all the other employees, you can do this. First of all, you can assign it to one person, but you can make it visible to all of the company, or you can make it visible to the employees of a specific department, right? And then, we have a social part here, so you can comment, you can like it, you can do pretty much anything with this. Yes.
All right. So what's next?
Yeah.
What do we
So
have
this
here?
is the first type. The second type is the announcement, right? So here you can see how it
That
looks
sounds
like.
official.
Yeah, it's more like, of an official side of it. So Alex here, he did what? He did a reminder that we're going to have a fire drill, right, in our office. So here you can see the funny picture. And then also you see this green button, which states as mark as red. So this is important for the supervisor who made this post to see, if you click this button, the supervisor will be able to see how many people acknowledged the reading of this post, right? So you can later ask them, right? So if they say they didn't see this, you can just tell them, but you click the button. So there is no way out.
And since this is important, and I want to make sure everybody got the message, so that's why I use this type of announcement. And if somebody hasn't read this message, I will see who that person was, and I'm going to have a nice conversation with them. Yeah,
you're just going to do some action.
But it's not going to be you, since you saw this message. So let's click on the button mark as red.
Yeah, so you can see the changes, right? So it's like, I have read this, right? So, and you can see how many users actually read this. So it's me and Alex, basically, right now. So far, but we're going to have all of the company do this. And again.
Some angry comments.
I mean, I'm fully aware, but like Archie's not happy with this, for real. So, yes. So we have also like the comment section, we have the reactions, and this is like more of an official announcement, right? The announcement part.
What if there's a situation when, you want to get some opinion from your team, right? You want to make it like a little bit official, and you want to see what your team thinks of certain
a certain topic. So for this, of course, we have a poll, right? So which is pretty self-explanatory. You just like ask a question that you would like to know opinions on. And for example, here we have which of the slogans do you think is the best fit for our summer marketing campaign, right? So here we have like different options. And what we have here, which one is winning? Oh, it's a tie.
Yes.
We don't have like a.
I just love these slogans. And by the way, if you think that these slogans are funny, they are. And I used our Copilot to create those slogans. And Copilot is our AI-powered tool that you can use to manipulate, different tags and to create some ideas and, have some conversations. And basically get any kind of information. It's available in the chat, but also it's available here in the feed, so you can use that to write you some messages or, come up with some slogans.
So how to use this? Here you can see we do
how do you create all these goodies, right?
So this is like the type of post that we showed you, right? So the examples, but here when you go to the more, you can see appreciation, announcement, right? So we can make an announcement, right? So you just create your text. Yes, but again, you can use Copilot here, which is this nice button here. So you can ask Copilot to create some probably text if you have some writer's block.
It's really useful. If you're short on time or you don't have any like specific ideas of what you want to write about, Copilot is really great at helping you out with those. And we covered Copilot extensively in our separate webinar. So you might want to watch this and learn a lot of interesting things about this tool. And I guess that about does it for our HR part of the webinar. And now we're going to move on to the next big section, which is automation. It's going to be a lot of interesting tools, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a couple of seconds. Okay, welcome back to the second part of our webinar, where we are going to focus on the automation tools in Bittrex 24. And let's check out some of them. First of all, let's go to the tasks and projects section of Bittrex 24. And here we're going to see our recent tool, which is called flows, right? So what is the flows, right? The flows is basically not so much about automation as it is about organizing tasks in a certain way, right? So let's say there's a department that has to do mostly with typical standard routine tasks. In our case, it's sales and accounting department. And a lot of people come to them and say, hey, give me my form and I need to, have this document and that document. And it gets messy sometimes, right? Because not everyone knows how to create tasks in a proper way. And people do it randomly. People, create 5 tasks and assign them to one person. And that person is like, hey, I cannot do it. So, yes. So this creates problems with people's efficiency and adds unnecessary tension. So it's not something you need in the office.
Yes, we do have like 600 employees in our company, for example. So can you imagine how many forms they're going to, for example, the accounting department to ask for? And of course, it will be useful to have a tool that can automate this process, like the routine one.
Yeah, make it easier. So what flows do is it creates a certain way of working with tasks. And every time an employee needs to assign a task to this department, they will create it, and it will be created based on a template. So they will have to fill in specific information and only that information, nothing else. And then it will be assigned to the person who is on the team, and it will check their availability. If they're not available, it will be moved to another available person. And this way, you will ensure proper workload distribution and make sure everyone has their efficiency on the right level. So let's take a look. And here we have sales and accounting department that you can use to request tax forms, expense reimbursements, benefits, retirement plans, whatever. Some details, right? The administrator, flow team, and the project is related to. But let's see the settings, right? So here we can see who is allowed to add tasks to the flow. Everyone, right? Because it's common thing. Everyone needs it. The planned completion time is basically the deadline for each task that's going to be added there, right? So people cannot work more than 24 hours on a particular task. If more than that, it goes overdue, that means you have problems with efficiency. Next step would be some more settings. And here you have 2 basic ways of task distribution. The first one is using queue. And again, like I said, that means that if Archie Becker here is busy working on a task, another task will be assigned to Jenny Goldsmith. And if she's busy, it will be assigned to Chloe Rayner, and so on, right? This way, everyone will be equally busy, right? And, they will be able to work more efficiently. And if that doesn't work out, you can always switch to the manual task assignment, right? If there's some, too many tasks, right? And you have to manage them manually, so you can do that as well. But here we're cool with the queue option. There's some other options here. You can enable halfway point alert. I mean, for you as a person who signed the task, it makes more sense for you and will create less tension. And submit task to creator for approval. We can enable that too. And some more options on the final step, right? So there's some notifications that me as a flow administrator can receive, right? If there is a certain number of pending tasks, it exceeds this number, and I'll get notification, and I'll be able to step in and again, fix the situation by manually assigning tasks. And some other indicators that show that, efficiency is not so good. Right, so once we set this up, we set the flow, but it's already saved, and we can create a task, right? So let's see how it's done. Basically, you can create a task here. So you can do this in the free form, or you can do it from actually you can do it from any kind of task, right? So you can start it from here, right? So
Yeah, but it looks nice doing this from the flow.
Yeah, but I'm just going to show you, like, it's just any task, right? So you can create just a regular task, but you can also select a flow right here. So there's our flow, right? And see what changes here. What changes here is there's no assignee. There's auto assign. That means that this task will be added to whoever's available, right? So you enter the task name and there's some description and add this task to the flow, and there it will be, right? So this is the way for big companies to organize and structure their work with typical standard routine tasks. And it's really useful, and it allows you to track efficiency most of all, right? So that was the flows, and now we're going to move on to something else, which is workflows in the feed. Stay tuned.
So now we are going to cover the next part of the automation in HR Bittrex 24, which is a workflow. So here we have, we are in the feed section, right, of Bittrex 24. So now, as you can see, we have a workflow tab here. So, when you click on the workflow, you can see, the 5 pre-configured modes that we have for the workflow, which is leave approval. We have a business trip. We have general requests, which can be pretty much anything. Then we have a purchase request, and we have the expense report.
Yeah. For some people who might not get the concept of workflow, basically, workflow is a certain procedure, standard procedure that a lot of companies have. And that involves different actions from different people, right? Or in order to get a leave approval, you have to submit application. This application has to go to this person, and this person has to approve it, and then it has to be approved by someone else, and then it has to go back to you and say, hey, your leave is approved, you can go on vacation and have a lot of fun. And what Bittrex 24 does is it automates all of these processes, right? And it makes it easier to work with them, right? So you don't have to physically, go to every person.
Yeah, you don't have to use the paper now, so you can do this all inside of Bittrex 24.
You might not be even in the same building, in the same city or country with these people, right? So that's how it works. And even though we have them pre-configured right here, you can also, you can always change them to your liking. You can, tweak different settings and assign different people and, or even create a new workflow here. But for now, we're just going to show you how to work with leave approval, right? So
yeah, we're just going to go with the simple one with the leave approval.
So Lana here is going to go on vacation.
Yes. So here you can see just the first page, and then explaining the workflow with leave approval. Yeah. So then we click next, and then you have the mandatory fields, which are the start date. So I'm going to go from 15 on July to 22.
Yeah, I cannot let you go for any longer.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then you have to choose the absence type. So we're going to choose the annual leave, right? And then you can mention some reason for leave, but if it's annual leave,
tired.
Yeah, I'm just tired. So I just click start.
Right. So then this process goes to all the people it has to go through. But since it's just me, right? So I have.
Well, first of all, it's going to the supervisor, of course.
Right. So me being the supervisor, so I have to open my Bittrex 44 application, and then I'll see that I need to approve a certain leave, right? So let me do that, and right here, okay. Oh, it says leave approval, right? So I'm going to approve Lena's leave right now. All right. So there you go. As you can see, this leave request was approved, and now Lena is free to go on her vacation.
Yeah, and I received
I'm expecting you to be here in a week.
In a week? Yeah. So as you can see, we have the requester, the start date, end date, absence type. So yeah, Alex, he approved my vacation, so I'm free to go.
Yep.
And so this is the simplest way how you can use our workflows, which is by, again, the leave approval, for example.
Yeah, that makes work a lot easier, and that simplifies, and that it kind of eliminates a lot of routine. Really great stuff, and the fact that you can customize them is also great. But if you find it difficult to adapt this, logic to your particular process, you can always contact our partners. And
Yeah, so you may ask, who are our partners? So partners, this is like the companies or organizations that were certified by us, by Bittrex 24, in order to assist our clients with any implementation services, customization services. So basically anything you may need help with in terms of our product. So we are going to cover a little bit later on how to contact them. So stay tuned.
But, if you want to jump right in, there's a link in the description below, so you can click on that and submit your partner request, and you're going to be contacted shortly after, right? Yeah. But that was it. That's all we can say about the workflows. And now we're going to move on to another cool HR feature, which is called e-signature, okay? And we're going to be here in a couple of seconds. Okay, welcome back. And it's still Bishop's way for presentation, and we're still talking about automation tools in our product. Here we are in the feedback again. Oh, see, your leave is approved and processed.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Alex. Yeah, I can finally have some rest.
No worries. That's something that we talked about just in the previous section where we created...
Talking about the workflows, yeah.
Yeah, well, Lana created a workflow for leave approval and it's been approved, and, she's free to go, Have a lot of fun in your vacation, and I'm expecting to see you here.
In 1 week?
In 1 week. And now, let's talk about something else here, and that is e-signature, okay? As you can see in the menu here, we have 2 signatures, actually. One of them is just the e-signature, and this is something you use for your clients. You can use for your clients, for your contractors.
External users.
Freelancers, people who work with you outside your company, right? And the one that we need now is e-signature for HR. That's for internal company documents, right? And for those of you who are familiar with the concept of an e-signature, it's basically paperless way to sign documents, right? So you create an electronic text document, you fill in all necessary fields, you submit it for signing to a person. That person clicks on the button and they acknowledge that they have read and understood this document. And since then, it considered signed, and it could be used or for like basic purposes, right? Concerning the legality and the actual application of this format in different countries, you might want to check with your local legislation because it differs in different regions. And but from now on, we just going to focus on the actual logic. Right.
But a quick note, you can actually contact, again, our partners, and they can help you with the legal proceedings regarding the e-signature, because they know
exactly
how
in which cases, yes, it could be used, and in which cases,
how to do this properly.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess it works for most standard documents in all of the countries, right? So now let's go into sign some standard document that a lot of companies have to deal with, which is NDA, right? So we have an NDA agreement, and we're going to sign it with Lana, right? So we're going to click on the sign button, and here we have some templates and recent documents, and one of them is this agreement, right? So we'll click on that, and we're going to continue to the next form. The next form is some more fields that you have to fill, and companies not selected. It's us in this bakery. There's no other company. Signing party, it's going to be me, right? So I'm the company representative in this case. And approval and field editor, it's just simple document. We don't need these people.
But it's not mandatory.
Yeah, it's still going to be me, right? So we're going to click on continue. And then we have to sign employees, which is
me,
right? So we have Lana here. And I'm going to go and continue. So that gives us another menu. And that's the actual document. So we can edit this document. We can fill in all the necessary information because it's still a template, right? So we have to customize it. And then we can add some more fields and so on and so on. So you can see all of these fields here on the right. So you can insert them and, move them around the document, right? But for the sake of, this webinar, we're just going to skip this phase and hit save. Let's say this document is already done and as great as it is. Now, we have the final information check. Everything looks cool, and we can submit this document for signing. So what happens next? Next, we have, first of all, you see this document entering the pipeline. It says right here, and I'm just going to see the signing process. So I have to be the first one to sign this, right? Signing in process, and come on, show me the button. Hey, where's my button? All right, there it is, right? So I have to sign this document first. So what I do, I click on the sign button. And I'm going to sign this document. Again, some information check, first and last name. Thank you.
You just have to follow some steps before actually signing.
And last steps. But again, since it's, it's document signing, it's kind of like a very delicate process. You have to confirm your identity by using our mobile app, right? So it's not just any person can sign this. No, it has to be you.
Yeah, so before actually signing, please download our mobile app.
It sent me a notification on the mobile app, which is going to click here. And it's done. So I've done my part, and now it's up to Lana, right? So she's going to receive a notification on her mobile app. And once she signed this document, it will, it'll be finished.
So there you go, right? Yeah, I do have the notification.
All right, click on that.
So I sign it and confirm.
Confirm. And
I should take just a few seconds to download.
All right, come on. There you go. Yeah. Perfect. It's signed from both sides. And now, it's right here in our pipeline. See?
Completed.
There you go. Non-disclosure agreement, new, and it's in the, the final stage. Perfect. So that's how it works. And you can find the documents in your company vault. And so that's about it. That's what e-signature for HR does. Really handy and useful tool to sign and mass sign, especially if you have, certain rules that you have to sign with all of your employees. It's going to be hundreds of them. So it makes much easier to just send them out, all of this information and just mass sign a document within a couple hours instead of spending days.
And just skip the paper trail. Yeah. Forever.
And again, why would you use paper in,
if you have Bitrix
21st century? Yeah, there you go. All right. So that's it. And now we're going to take a look at some of the, biggest, automation tools in Bitrix 24, and that's Smart Process Automation. Let's take a look and stay tuned. Welcome back. It's still the Bitrix 24 webinar, and we're going to talk about one more automation tool in our product, which is it's difficult, right? So it's called Smart Process Automation, but it's a part of a bigger tool that's called Automated Solutions. A lot of automation here. Now let's check this out, right? So first of all, we have to start a little bit back, right? So we have our CRM, right? And in our CRM, we have standard, what we call entities. There are leads, there are deals, there are invoices, and we have estimates, and then we have companies and contacts, whatever. But what if you have certain process that it cannot be tied to any of those, right? What if you want to create, a certain process for hiring and onboarding new employees, okay? And they're not leads. They're not deals, right? So what do you do with them?
But you still in between.
Yeah, but you still want to use the same interface, and you still want to apply the same automation rules, and you want to still integrate this process into Bitrix 24. That's why we have Smart Process Automation. So you can create a custom entity inside Bitrix 24, just like another lead, a deal, give it its own properties, give it its own name, and use our standard tools, Kanban board, and all that, to work with these entity and, create a certain pipeline to manage it. So let me show you how it's done. So we have here special section in the menu that's already created. It's called HR Management. And as you can see, I have two different Smart Process Automation. The first one is hiring, right? So what it says here, it's basically a Kanban board that shows 3 different stages of our candidates, right? So we have some unsorted CVs people send us, and then we invite some of those to the first job interview, and when that's successful, they pass on to the final job interview, and when that's successful, we move them to one of these stages. It's either rejected or hired, right? And once it's hired, it's move on to the next Smart Process Automation, which is onboarding. And then again, we have some more here, right? So we have this person going through general briefing, cybersecurity briefing, and workplace setup. And once they're finished, it's success, and these people are hired, and they can, start working in the company. But let's take a look at the actual entity here. So as you can see, it's very familiar to what we have in the CRM, but the fields are completely different. So here we have Jimmy McGrath, right? And it's his position is trainee, and that, we have this here. We have a special field position. We have a special field stage, which is his stage. We have him as a contact. We have his phone number, email address, and then we have the responsible person, the person who, will work with him if he's hired, right? Samantha Simpson. You might remember her. And also we have the source, and these are the same sources that we use in Bitrix 24 to acquire leads or, to create forms and so on. So basically, especially in Bitrix 24, we can create a website, and then we can place a web form there, and then we can...
So the person basically leaves their information, right?
Yeah.
So if he wants to be hired?
Yeah, we're hiring, we need, certain people, right? So people complete these forms. These forms end up here in our smart process, and we can treat them like the regular CRM entities when in fact there's something else.
So it's basically like an equivalent to lead, but for the HR.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And that's what makes it so great, because it's still the same familiar interface, but it's completely custom fields. So you can create as many fields as you want. You can name them as you want. And there's, so much variety and so much versatility in this tool, right? And then again, you can move this here and you can move it here. And as it progresses, there's the salary again, right? We can see the person's salary and so on. So
okay, and if, for example, you don't like the CV that the person sent, you can just send it to, you can just delete it right away.
Yeah. So that's just one way you can use it, and it can be basically used to accommodate any kind of process, right? So, for example, let's say you're an agency that not only rents out apartments, but also buys apartments, right? You have different types of clients, and then, one lead is just not enough. So you can create different types of clients. And that's just one of the ways you can use it. So both for your internal processes and for, for your sales.
It's just depending on the area of business that you're in, like which you work with.
Right. And what we have here in the, automation section. So that was just a standard of, like smart process automations, right? But automated solutions is another section that allows you to merge, to bring together several smart process automations into one big process. And then basically it's like this whole department work can be based from here. So we created just one. It's called HR management. And it consists of several smart process automations. So you can set up the same way you can set up your work for your legal department, for your accounting department, all kinds of departments, right? So it's really nice too, and it helps you to automate a lot of processes and make them, simpler. Yeah. So that was a quick roundup of all of the automation tools in Bitrix 24. And before we go, we have one more important message for you, and that message is about our
partners.
That's right. So, Lena, take it away.
Yes. So, as we mentioned before, like several times during the webinar, we do have our partners. And these are the companies that were certified by Bitrix 24 in order to help with everything that you need for like setting up the system, with the training, with the customization, implementation services, pretty much anything when you just buy the our product, and then you need... you don't know anything about it, so you wanna you wanna be contacted by our partners in order to get this assistance. And you may ask how do I contact them? Yeah, what do I do? So for this, you can see this button like My Plan, right? And then you can see Implementation Request button here. So if you click it, you will be seeing Submit Request, right? So you click here, and here you can see the form, right? So pretty simple. You just fill in your information, like the name, email, your country, your phone number, and what type of services do you need. And you can add some additional comments if you would like to. So then if you send it, and then you will be contacted by several partners from your area, maybe even from your city. And then you can maybe have some online meetings with them and just discuss your future work relationships. And then you can just decide this partner suits you best, or maybe you want to choose another one. And this way you will get your assistance from Bitrix 24. Yeah.
And the great thing about Bitrix 24 partners is that they're first of all, they're located all across the world. So there's like a couple thousands of them, even more.
Yes.
And so there's a great chance Bishop Serving for Partner is in your area. And again, like I said, in your city. And these people, they have extensive knowledge of your local market. So they can help you set up some local integrations like payment systems and so on. Because Bitrix 24 is such a kind of versatile product, and they can help you adapt it to your particular needs. They have, setups for different, like for example, CRM. They have already CRMs pre-set up for different types of businesses.
Maybe you are into like real estate, and they do have a solution for this already.
Specifically, or you have a lot of employees that you by yourself, it could be really difficult, to, come up to every person, hey, you should click here or there.
Of course.
And you can have your employees trained by our partners and a lot of other services. But it's really useful. It's basically like a shortcut, right? So if you don't want to spend time, and money,
do everything manually, you can just ask them.
That's the solution. Okay, so that about does it for today's webinar. And we have to thank you a lot for your patience. And we hope it was enjoyable, informative, and
somewhat entertaining, hopefully.
But thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys in our next webinar.
Yes, we're going to take a quick break and get back with a new one soon.
Yes. Stay tuned and have a nice day.
Bye-bye.